let me tell you something about boxing now.
Yeah.
Back in the days, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, even before them, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, even before that, Sonny Liston, Rocky Marciano, all these guys had to do one thing to become popular, and that's entertain and fight the best. Today, all you have to do is be a clown on social media, act like a fool, and act like an idiot, and then you could become popular in boxing. You don't have to fight anymore. All you have to do is be foolish. That's all you have to do now.
Damn.
And it's a fact. Listen, Floyd Mayweather Jr. became popular. Why? Because of the way he fights in the ring? Because he's just so devastating, knockout puncher in the ring? No, it's because he acts a fool on social media and you become popular. And that's what you have to do today.
Damn. You're talking about America.
I'm talking about America.
Yeah.
Yeah. America.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a sad it's boxing. It's not just boxing. It's almost every sport here in the United States. And mixed martial arts is the same way. You got these MMA fighters that act like a fool on social media, on YouTube, and then the fans now want to see them. Not because they're skilled. No one cares. Listen, no one cares about Tank Davis.
Yeah.
No casual fan would even know who Tank Davis is.
That's true.
Unless because of his tweets
Yeah.
and the way he acts on social media, it's like, oh, I want to see this guy fight. You know what I'm saying? But you won't see that same reaction towards fighters like Prograis or Josh Taylor. You won't. They're not acting like a fool in the public's eye.
Yeah.
That's what I that.
Yeah. So my question is, if the best fought the best over there, do you think that could help right the ship? Because right now over there the ship is listing. It's not listing, it's not straight. The ship is listing,
Yeah.
Now, if the best started now, first of all, one of the reasons why the ship is listing at an angle could be because we got into an era of the alphabet soup.
Right. Right.
And the best stopped fighting the best in the era of your Larry Holmes, of your Evander Holyfields, and your Mike Tysons, and your Riddick Bowes, and your Lennox Lewis,
Right.
Hasim Rahmans. The best fought the best, and there was no problem over there. Boxing,
No, not at all.
booming when the best were fighting the best,
Right.
and so the landscape in America has changed dramatically. It's gone from one of your biggest sports to almost like a fringe sport. And my question to you is, could that be attributed to the fact that the best don't fight the best over there no more?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what it is. The fighters aren't fighting each other. And the sad part about it is you got so many belts. You win one of these alphabet belts. You don't need to fight the other champion. You don't need to fight your mandatory. All you need to do is get that title, and then your promoter or whoever is going to let you do what you want to do. Because the more champions that you have, the more money that these fucking sanctioning bodies can make. And this, excuse my French, the more money that they make. One champion in boxing today is not going to get these sanctioning bodies the most money. But if you have 4, 5, 6 different champions, you could throw 4 or 5 different events with a 12-round fight.
Yeah. So I think that in a nutshell is the problem with boxing, particularly over in the US of A. Yeah, it's almost like you got some kind of segregation has come back into box. Some segregation has come into boxing. It's like
Right.
segregation over there with the different sanctioning bodies.
Right. Listen. Let's give Wilder. I didn't mean to cut you off, but let's give
Yeah,
Wilder an example. Let's give Wilder for an example.
yeah,
If what Wilder is knocking guys out, right? He's knocking them out. He's entertaining. Besides Fury, he's
yeah,
knocking everybody out.
yeah.
Okay. Now, with the way that he's fighting and knocking people out, you would think that he'd be the face of America, that he'd be the one that everyone wants to fight. But then, as social media, more boxing outlets, more media talks about Wilder, the more that comes out about Wilder, it's like even the casual fans know that he's knocking out bums. He's not knocking out the Tyrell Biggs and the Larry Holmes and the Michael Spinks. He's knocking out Stavern.
Yeah, you're frozen there for a second. Yeah, but I hear you. I hear you.
That's
So
how our fans knew he was fighting bums. But now that the casual fans know that he's fighting bums, it's making his popularity sink in the hole.
yeah, so your champion, the WBC champion, is known worldwide, included in his own homeland as a bomb killer.
Right.
He is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Wilder is known worldwide and now in his own homeland as a bomb killer. We're gonna
Can I
go.
jump in?
Yeah, we're gonna come to you, Don ZB, after we go to Big Boys Boxing. Big Boys Boxing first, and then you, Don ZB.
All right.
Don ZB. So Big Boys Boxing, the demise of boxing in the USA, and Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder being a bomb killer.
Well, I think it's a fact that boxing in America is never going to surpass like NFL, baseball, basketball, even ice hockey. But if things are done the right way, there's a possibility it could get up to being the number 5 sport in the country again, maybe sometime. But there's going to take a lot of work. And I think, like Rosscott says, the best have got to fight the best to get that. I mean, it's all fine and dandy having a strong social media presence, talking shit to up your profile, but if you're going to fight the best at the same time, imagine how popular you could become in the States with a population of over 320 million people. I mean, there's hope for boxing, but the way it's going backwards. And it's not impressive. And Wilder as a bum killer, I think a lot of people do think that's the definition of Deontay Wilder, but I think it's also known that he's the hardest hitting heavyweight on the planet. So there is some good to go with the bad. I wish he'd be a little bit more humble outside the ring and not talk so much shit and let his fists actually do the talking instead of proclaiming, what does he say? Speak it, believe it, receive it. It's like he expects whatever comes out of his mouth for every boxing fan to believe. And when you contradict yourself so often, it creates a lot more dislike from fans than like, in my opinion. So take it away, Don.
Don, sweet.
I have a question for Ross Clark.
Yeah.
Who is Wilder supposed to be fighting?
What's your question?
Who is Wilder supposed to be fighting?
Ross Clark. Don ZB is posing the question to you. Who is Wilder supposed to be fighting? Okay, so while Ross Clark's stream has frozen, is had to stream. Yeah, Ross Clark. Okay. Are you receiving?
Yes. I had jumped out for a second.
That's no problem.
It was too much noise where I was at.
That's no problem. So the question that Don ZB has just posed a question, and he said, who is Deontay Wilder supposed to be fighting?
I thought it was Ortiz. Yo, you mean to become popular?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's face it. The heavyweight division is doesn't have the best talent in the world, and there isn't too many world breakers there, and it's all scattered. I don't think there's not any fights for him that will make him super popular. Besides Anthony Joshua, even though Anthony Joshua still lost, I think he's still the bigger face and the more popular guy. And even though with the loss, a Ruiz and Wilder fight would not be as big as an AJ and Wilder fight.
Don ZB. So I'll come in with my response on that on your question on who is Wilder supposed to be fighting. Wilder's supposed to be fighting the top guys. Wilder's supposed to be. I'll be more specific. Let me go over to BoxRec. I'll be more specific. Wilder is supposed to be fighting, well, first and foremost. First and foremost.
Can I say something quick?
No.
All the guys you're about to name, nobody knows them. Nobody in America knows them.
Oh, okay.
All the guys you're about to name, Dillian White and a bunch of UK fighters, nobody knows them, right?
Okay. That's your response. So let me say what I was going to say. Okay, so yes, you are right. Deontay Wilder should be fighting the top guys in his organization, at least in his organization. He should be fighting the top guys, full stop. But he should have fought Dillian White. Now, your response to that, why should he be fighting Dillian White? Dillian White's been his number one opponent for over 650 days. Now, your response to that is that nobody knows him. Nobody in America knows him, but people everywhere else know him. People everywhere else in the world. America is what? Let's say 25% of the game, 25% on the map. I'm just gonna hold on a second. Right. So America's 25% of the game. The other 75% of the game are aware that your boy there, Deontay Wilder, has avoided Dillian White, avoided his obligation to face his number one opponent for over 650 days. So your response is that, but nobody in America knows him. Fine. Well, everybody everywhere else knows him. And that is the problem, my friend. That is the problem. The crux of the problem right there is that he thinks he doesn't have to fight his number one opponent because 25% of the market doesn't know him. But what you fail to understand, my friend, is that because he's not fighting the guys he should be fighting, the top guys, even your American people, your fellow American knows he has a reputation for not fighting the top guys.
Okay.
That cannot be respected, my friend. That cannot be respected.
Is it fair to say everybody that knows Dillian White knows Luis Ortiz?
I think that's a fair statement.
Everybody knows Dillian White knows Luis. Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know, but okay, let's go on that assumption. I don't know. Is everybody who knows Dillian White knows? Maybe. Carry on with your argument.
And Dillian White also ducked Luis Ortiz on 3 different occasions. I don't think we need to go through it.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
No,
he even asked Luis Ortiz to come fight in the second Chisora fight. Yeah. He asked Luis Ortiz Luis Ortiz asked him to come let him fight for Wilder Fury's undercard. You know why he replied?
Relevant and is distracting from the matter at hand.
That's the same situation. Okay.
Is Ortiz a champion? Is Ortiz a WBC champion?
The champion told Dillian White, fight Luis Ortiz, and I guarantee
No. The champion doesn't dictate nothing. The WBC champ doesn't dictate nothing. The WBA champ doesn't dictate nothing.
Okay,
you fight the number one opponent.
Who to fight then? Then you cannot tell him who to fight then.
So yeah,
because he's
no,
the champ.
he needs to fight the number one opponent to get respect.
What do you mean he needs to fight the